Hello and welcome to episode 6 of the Hey Listen podcast. I'm really sorry that it's been a little while since we've recorded an episode. Life has just kind of gotten in the way a little bit and we've just not managed to get together. But we're finally recording. We are finally putting out another episode. How are you all?
I'm exhausted.
What a lovely why are you exhausted, cauliflower?
Oh my god, life has just been so busy. Like, no word of a lie, it's been so busy.
Oh, Connie, you've got a holiday coming up though, don't you?
Shh.
Okay, sorry.
Nobody knows about it.
Oh no, I've already ruined
Well,
it.
we're going on Thursday, so...
So by the time this
know about
comes
that, so-
out, by the time
Yeah,
this
it should be
comes out,
fine. So for listeners, it's currently Tuesday the 5th, and I have a surprise booked for my husband on Thursday the 7th. So by the time this comes out, we will be away.
Gone.
But he is only in the other room, so that's all living as far
So I
as he
might have
knows.
just ruined it.
We're going camping. No, I can't hear you. You're on my headphones. We're going camping. I've got him his own shovel to dig his own holes to take his dumps in.
That's better than what I started thinking when you said his own shovel to dig his own hole. Like,
Yeah.
we're going away together, but I'm the only one coming back.
Yeah. Connie's
You know
secret
me so well.
holiday.
how about you guys? Giraffe and Tree, what have you been up to?
Well, I am
well.
already on holiday and I've come literally halfway around the world, catching a plane and everything. And so we can do this podcast in the same room. And then we couldn't because we were echoing off each other. So we had to go into separate rooms.
Telling me that you didn't swim the Atlantic.
I didn't know.
You got on a plane.
I know.
And
I don't think I
boy,
could.
are her arms tired.
I was thinking the other day, because I live on the coast in England, like before I came out, I was looking at the channel and thinking, like, if I really desperately had to, could I do it? And I came to the conclusion I definitely couldn't. I would drown.
But you thought about it, you know.
What is-
I gave it
The
some
Atlantic.
serious consideration and decided
No,
no.
I'd die.
Don't want to swim to France. What about swimming to the Isle of Wight? Would you be able to do that?
No.
How far is it?
I do not know off the top.
It's not that far, but I'm going to
Yeah.
go with no.
It's a lot shorter
just say
distance.
I
off a
actually
little.
think quite good at swimming, but I'm just really out of shape at the moment. There's no two ways about it. I haven't done enough exercise for a while, so yeah, not so much.
I think.
Surely you've been getting exercise dancing at New York Pride.
I did have a great time in New York Pride. There was some dancing, some shapes were thrown, which had not happened in a while, so that was fun.
It looks like from the coast, maybe not Brighton, but from the coast, it's a couple of miles.
I think from Portsmouth. I think that's the closest
Yeah.
point to the
That
Isle of
sounds
Wight.
like a struggle, to be honest.
No,
Couple of miles.
or there. So if you go to Yarmouth, not Great Yarmouth on the Isle of Man from Milford on Sea, probably a mile.
I love how we've gone from what have we
maybe.
been
I
up
don't- it was
to
Could Tree swim to the Isle of Wight?
to various points. Could you swim across the sea?
Because I'm looking at a river and I'm thinking, can I swim across a river? Oh wait, no, I can't swim. So no, I would just die. The moment
I'm
I
also
get
not a
in.
very strong swimmer, so I feel your pain on that one.
We'll die together, cauliflower. It'll
Yeah,
be-
we'll just drown together. It's fine.
yeah, we'll
my
be trying to like hold on to each other and bringing each other down. It's gonna be
Yes, we will.
See, my mum, her mum, my nana, they're both terrified of water. But my mum can swim. My nana refuses to go anywhere near water, but my mum didn't want to pass on the fear of water to us, so she like forced us to go swimming for about 10 years. So I think I got to like stage 10 or something of swimming. She was like adamant you were going to have swimming lessons, and I think at least one of my sisters did lifeguard training, so we're fairly competent swimmers. Like I don't go swimming anywhere near as much as I used to when I was younger, but I still don't think I'd be able to swim the Channel or the Isle of Wight. Like if I had some training and worked up to it, maybe,
Yeah.
but like not right now.
I reckon I could swim a mile with a bunch of training, because I
Yeah.
used to swim pretty well, but like, yeah, the question is like tomorrow, like if you I'm like, I'm not sure.
Take a trip to the Isle of Wight,
Very
let's swim. Just have it
I
a bust
know,
of
I
fun.
never, beyond the school swimming lessons that we used to get, I never actually had swimming lessons because around the sort of age I would have started it, my sister was very poorly in hospital. So I didn't, there wasn't time, so.
Yeah, it's all about
And
circumstances,
that went on for,
really.
that went on for about 2 years. So by the time it was afterwards, I would have ended up being like a 6, 7-year-old in a class with a bunch of kids.
This is, I feel like my sort of desperate crowbarring of this back to a games podcast, but also just I'm curious. Like, I remember when I was, and I guess also because I'm in America, it's coming to my head. When I was really little, we had some family friends in America, and we went to visit them, and they had, like, I couldn't even tell you what platform it was on. Like maybe it was NES, maybe it was SNES. Sorry, those things don't even make any sense to some younger listeners. As a Nintendo system or a Super Nintendo, as they were.
Stop it! You dear thing, stop it.
I'm so old. But they had like a Mario Olympics type game, but they had like a special accessory for it where it was like an actual like on the floor pad where like instead of like hammering the buttons like you used to in this old athletics game, you like ran on the pad. So like you were using your feet to do the actual running in like the Mario Olympics game. But I can't really remember it very well because I was really, really little. But I just remember thinking this was like the most amazing, like insane technology I'd ever seen in my life and thinking it was very cool.
On that similar vein, while I was in university, I had Kinect for my Xbox 360. I was like, I'm going to get healthy. So you know what I'm going to get? I'm going to get Just Dance for my Kinect. And I was in student halls on the ground floor. Yes, it worked actually. And if anybody has been to university in England and you've been in student days, you know what they're like. You know, you've got a bed, you've got like a corridor. It's like a small hotel room. And I was proper going for it. I was really dancing, and I'm doing it right now as I'm telling you the story. And what I didn't realise is that all the builders across the road that were putting up the new student days were watching me the entire time.
Oh my god.
Find out? How did you find out?
Because I looked straight at them.
Oh no.
They didn't just come over at some point and say, well, hey there, Missy.
No.
Thanks for the
They were
entertainment.
looking through my window, and then I looked out of my window. We locked eyes, and I went, oh god, I'm in the bathroom till 5 o'clock, and they went home.
Oh.
See, we when I was training to be a teacher at university, we I can't remember what they were doing. They had one of these days. It was a little bit like a sports day, but it wasn't sports day. But they got all the classes into the hall, and they put Just Dance up on YouTube and just did like several rounds of just dance songs, but from YouTube rather than the actual game. But I was just having a look because that just triggered a memory. I remember when I was younger, we on our PlayStation 2 we had the dancing stage mega mix, and it had this, you know, the arrows where you tap the arrows with your foot for your dance.
Like the machines that you can do.
Yeah. We had that in our living room with these material dance pads, and it was great. And I don't know if we still have them. I'll have to ask my dad. But yeah, Dancing Stage Megamix, I've just found it, and I remember the box. I remember it very clearly, and there's certain songs that I remember from that, and we used to love it. It was great fun.
So we also used to have for my 360 Rock Band. So does anybody remember Guitar Hero?
Yes.
Yeah. It was like that, but it was a band. So you had 2 guitars, you had a microphone, and you had a drum
singer,
kit.
right?
Yeah. So we had a singer, and my mum was like, "Oh, that's so stupid." And I brought it home, and that meant that we had to spend the entire night. There was me, my boyfriend at the time, my mother, and my dad. We had to do 7 or 8 times in a row. Bon Jovi wanted Dead or Alive.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I was on the drums. My dad and my ex, boyfriend at the time, were on guitar, and unfortunately for the entire street, my mother was on vocals.
Oh my god.
And my parents have this thing where they like to have the front door open all the time to get some air flowing through, and I think that's what a window is for.
Yeah.
Apparently not. A front door is for that, so the front door was wide open.
So, Giraffe, what have you been up to these past couple of months?
Well, I feel like I'm not nearly as exciting as Tree because Tree is gallivanting around the world, but I've been, so I guess I'll be playing a little second fiddle. Exactly. So I've been sort of the supporting cast for that. I've gotten to meet Tree, but that's not quite true because we've met before, but gotten to hang out with her quite a bit.
We met some other people as well, didn't we?
Yeah, we did the whole let's meet Blood Bowlers in real life thing. So we met J-Leave and Shirato, J-Leave is another streamer of Blood Bowl, and Shirato is also another streamer of Blood Bowl.
Links to both of their streams will be in the description.
But they also, I think, hang out in our streams quite a bit, so they're full-fledged members of the Hey Listen community, if it were. Yeah, but it was really cool. We hung out, played some games. We did some watching of games done quick, and this was so for me, this was my first experience watching people, I guess, show off what they've been wasting uncountable hours of their life on.
But Games Done Quick do it differently because they have a commentary team, which makes it so much more exciting. Quite often when you watch, I've forgotten what the name of them are. Speedruns, yeah. when more often than not, when you watch speedrunners on streaming platforms, they're silent and they don't tend to interact with chat very much. So chat tend to have to like entertain themselves and stuff. But GDQ, they have a team sitting on a sofa behind the speedrunner, talking through exactly what the speedrunner is trying to do and what the strategy is, and like if something happens, do they then have to change their strategy? And I think it just opens up that door a little bit more to the speedrunning world, because it kind of it tells you exactly what they're thinking in their head.
Yeah, it's quite bizarre. To me, this was my first experience of it, and just the concept that you need to get things like, what is it, frame perfect was the term they used.
Yeah.
And that completely blew my mind. And just at first I thought it was ludicrous, right? They have one game and they're just playing it for hours and hours and hours at a time. And then I realized we all
It is so weird though, because they're barely playing the game on speedruns. I'm sorry, like I'm really naive to this, and clearly people who watch speedruns be listening to this be like, yeah, of course. But it was like the guy was sort of talking through everything, and like he's like explaining what he's doing, but it's like literally like walk up to a wall, like pause the game, unpause it, pause the game, unpause it. Like it seems like a really odd way to experience a game.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of those kinds of speedruns. I don't like the ones that take advantage of a glitch to try and get it done fastest. That to me is not doing a game.
Yeah.
That's cheating a game. But I remember...
It's accomplishing something.
Is it though? I don't know. I don't find that interesting at all. But I remember one time my husband told me someone did a speed run of the new Zelda game.
So it's Skyward Sword?
No, not
Breath of the
Wild.
Wild.
Breath of the Wild. Thank you.
Breath of the Wild.
And they're like, oh yeah, they did it in 4 minutes and however seconds. I was like, oh yeah, what glitch did they use? Oh, they didn't use a glitch. They just ran straight to the castle and went and beat Ganon. I was like, yeah, that's awesome.
I've seen there was somebody who attempted to do it with just using brooms.
Yes.
And that was great because but yeah, they often
like, as a weapon?
have broomsticks as a weapon. But they often have like glitchless categories. So how fast can you complete a game without using a glitch? And with Breath of the Wild, you can. Like the longest part is the plateau because you got to run around, get all the thingies.
That's pretty much set in amount of time that it takes you to do that. Because a lot of it is gated because that's your tutorial. So a lot of people don't start their timers until you're off the plateau and you're down and you're properly into it.
Also, there are different. So depending on what language or what I can't remember if it's what language or what like copy of the game. So if it's like the American copy or the Europe copy or the Asian copy, depending on, I think it's usually the Asian copy is the quickest. I don't know if it's like because of the text or there's something. I remember seeing something about that. Like some games, different versions of different copies of the game are quicker. So speedrunners will specifically go out of their way to get to that version of the copy to make their speedrun faster.
There's a YouTube channel that we watch sometimes, and Jeff, you might be interested in this. And it's a guy. He's on Twitch, but he puts his videos on YouTube. I can't remember his name. I will find it so we can put it in the description. But he does XCOM runs, and he does it like completely with one type of person, so just snipers or just
kind of funny.
Just grenades.
Oh, wow.
And he's really funny, and he's a really funny guy. He's Australian, I think. I will find out what his name is. And
that sounds like loads of fun. That sounds.
Well, he is actually a really funny guy.
But does he dress them up right? Because if he's just using regular XCOM soldiers, I'm not interested.
He does, yes, he does do that.
Good, as it should.
So check that out in the description below if you want to watch some of those XCOM runs. He's a really funny guy. He does great runs, but they are really fun to watch. I love those kinds of things. We say, I'm going to play this really popular game, but with these caveats.
I think it was another Breath of the Wild one where they tried to use only chickens to kill things.
Wow.
I don't think it worked in the castle though. I think the cutscenes or something, they stopped the chickens from defeating Ganon, which if you've ever played a Zelda game, the chickens or the Kokos, I think they're called. I always mispronounce the name, but they are deadly. They are incredibly deadly and will kill anything, like, because they flock. If you hit one of them, they will absolutely swarm you, and it's hilarious.
Underestimate the chickens.
Yeah, never underestimate the chickens.
They are definitely not bang average chickens.
I guess we kind of have to talk about it, don't we? Since it is a big event that's coming up.
Let's do it.
I don't have to, but you did mention bang average chickens, so.
This is sponsored by, but he doesn't know it yet, Bang Average Chicken Bowl, presented by Andy. I'm a Banger Davo.
So for those who aren't aware, Andy Davo is running a tabletop tournament in October. It did sell out very, very quickly, and it even took him by surprise because I think Andy was a little bit worried that it wasn't going to
He was worried it wasn't going to sell tickets. He was telling people, oh, don't worry, there'll be loads of tickets. And it sold out in 24 hours, and he was surprised.
Yeah.
We weren't,
no,
but he was.
Not at all. Not that's a little surprise.
Planning is Andy's strong suit.
So we'll all be there, isn't that right?
Yes.
All of us.
Probably.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'll
I'm very
start with this
excited.
probably giraffe, because then we'll have to
Probably.
like come over here and like make you come.
and drag me over there. We'll see.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
It's a highly likely, high probability event. I
We're
would say.
also all going to
Like
be
a
at the
2+.
Holiday Inn, so all the cool kids are going to be at the Holiday Inn. So if anybody hasn't booked their hotel yet, screw the Travel Lodge.
Wait,
Come to
are we
Holiday
getting
Inn.
a sponsorship deal from Holiday Inn? 'Cause I
Right?
feel like we
Yeah.
should get a kickback from this.
I really wish we were getting sponsorship deals, but no, unfortunately, we have not been reached out to be
By
sponsored
Holiday
yet.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
you guys, have we checked to see if there's a hotel breakfast? Because I haven't actually
Yes,
been
there
having
is.
a hotel breakfast on this trip. I would like a hotel breakfast. That'd be
Yes,
great.
there is breakfast. There is always breakfast at
That's
Holiday Inn.
exciting.
I suppose what it sort of moves me on to, I did a bit of a painting stream yesterday, and I got asked on my page which of the, so I painted 4 miniatures, and I have currently got a Disney Princess team, which I will be bringing to Bang Average Chicken Bowl,
Nice.
and I painted 4 of them. I painted Snow White, Belle, Ariel, and Rapunzel, and I got asked which of us are those 4 princesses.
Oh goodness. Which
Well,
one's
Rapunzel had like Rapunzel had a ball on her hair. and
Yeah,
considering
so
how much
the-
she loves goblins. There we go.
What?
She's like a fanatic.
Rapunzel had really long hair. Which
Yeah,
none of
Yeah,
us
no,
exactly.
she's-
So she can spin it round with her hair. She
She's-
doesn't need a chain.
She's got a ball and chain hair.
Oh wow. Oh, the miniatures. Oh wow, that sounds amazing. I like the sound of that a lot.
Okay, so Tree is Rapunzel. We've got that one. So we've got Snow White, Belle, and Ariel left to go.
I mean, I've got red hair, so I suppose that makes me Ariel, right?
But we were just talking earlier on this podcast about who could successfully swim the channel, which was none of us. So I don't know if any of us is Ariel.
Oh yeah, I'd be the worst mermaid ever. But
You're Ariel after she's been transformed to live on the land.
no, but she can sing. I can't.
Well, all princesses can sing, can't they? Because that's sort of
Yeah,
what's
but the,
part of their
point, the
forte.
whole
isn't it?
premise of the Little Mermaid is that he hears her sing and he falls in love with her voice before he sees her. I can't sing. Ain't no one falling in love with me if they hear me sing.
And then she has her voice stolen. She doesn't say anything at all, which I don't think is any of us.
Oh, that's absolutely not me.
So you're not Ariel, is that what we've established?
I don't think I'm any of them. I don't think I'm Belle. I
think
don't
I'm
think I'm
any of
Snow
them.
Not very
White.
princess-like, are we?
No. I would absolutely be Snow White because she takes an apple off a random stranger and eats it. I'd do that.
Okay, so Collie is Snow White, Giraffe.
Making poor decisions. Yeah. What?
Yes.
Who are we?
I don't
Oh,
think giraffes get a princess.
are you Belle or Ariel? Or am I Belle or Ariel?
Well, I can't swim, so let's just put Ariel out of the picture right now.
Dizzy can
That's not an
swim.
option.
She's told
I
us
can
she
swim.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Disney's Ariel. That's got to be it.
Okay, so just for listeners at home, so Collie is Snow White, Tree is Rapunzel, Giraffe is Belle, and I am Ariel. And that's apparently what has been decided.
Yeah, our guess.
If the listeners want to debate that further, they're more than welcome to. They may decide that differently. I'd love to hear their arguments for why we should be which princess. So our theme, although we've gone on several tangents already, but our theme for this episode is pet peeves. I know, we never go on tangents, do we?
Never.
Pet peeves for video games. Oh, no, well, no, sorry. Pet peeves for any games. So that could be video games, tabletop games, board games, card games, Warhammer games. So who wants to go first?
I will. One that everyone will probably agree with me on. Unskippable cutscenes.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty shit.
I need no further explanation, but unskippable cutscenes. It's just the worst. I'm just trying to play the game. It just ruins replayability for me because I don't want to sit there watching cutscenes. I know what the story is. If I'm
That's to
replaying
get your
it, it's
tea.
because I want to play it.
That's the time to get your tea.
That's
Yeah.
why I have a husband.
Well-deserved break from the game. Oh, I see.
But also,
Children, I suppose. That's why one has children, right? To bring
They're
you
a bit
things.
little, yeah. But yes, soon.
like when you get just before a boss cutscene, and then it's a really hard boss, so you keep dying to it, so you have to keep watching the cutscene again, and you just can't skip it, so you're there, and it what
Eventually, I
should
just
have
stop. Not because I can't do the boss, but because I can't skip the fucking.
yeah, like what could have taken you 20-30 minutes to complete the boss is now taking like an hour plus because of all the cutscenes, and it's just so tedious. Yeah, I'm in complete agreement with you there. The unskippable cutscenes are just.
Do we have
a pain.
any culprits in mind? Like, because I haven't played a game with cutscenes in a while. They're like some that are like famously like bad for that.
The original Kingdom Hearts games were notoriously bad for it. They have in the remakes put in skippable cutscenes. It's godsend, because there are some bosses within that are incredibly annoying, and not being able to skip those cutscenes was just
that's the worst as well. Like if it's like a boss that you might lose to, and then you just have to keep doing the same cutscene, like to remind yourself of what a bad time you had.
I can't think of anything specific off the top of my head, but I remember multiple times just throwing my controller down saying, "Screw it, I can't be arsed anymore," because the cutscenes were unskippable.
It does seem to be something that's died out. Like it does seem to have been a much old. There were like previous consoles that had that sort of thing, and any remakes or remasters have then rectified that, and newer games don't tend to have that issue. But I completely agree. Unskippable cutscenes are just. Although I do.
It was worse on old games as well, because in the sort of PlayStation 2 era, I don't know with newer PlayStations, maybe this is sort of thing, I haven't played on them, but like in the PlayStation 2 era, I guess, like when you played a game, sometimes the loading times for cutscenes were also like nothing. So if you're seeing the same cutscene and also having to wait for it to load 5 times in one sitting.
In more recent games, what they did was hide the loading screen for the game behind the cutscenes, so there was no way that they could make it skippable.
I will add another level to the unskippable cutscenes, in that cutscenes that you can't pause, because more than once, and that is a much more recent thing, in that I am invested, I want to watch this cutscene, but damn, I need the loo. So I press the start button to try and pause the game, and it skips the cutscene instead. And I'm like, no, I didn't want to skip that cutscene. I wanted to watch it and pause it. And it just wouldn't let me. And so I think that is like another level of it, in that it now is too easy to skip the cutscene, and I wanted to instead pause it. So
that can be a pain sometimes.
Yeah. Has anyone else got another pet peeve they wanted to talk about?
When after a cutscene and it throws you straight back into the action, like before a boss, it throws you straight into it. So you think, right, cutscene, I want to skip it, but I need the bathroom, so I'm going to run for a wee. Come back, you dad.
Yes, that is also very, very painful. And then you have to watch the cutscene again. Tree, giraffe.
I have one that's like completely different, because it's not a video game, but this is
board game time.
It's Blood Bowl specifically. So like with the new Blood Bowl,
rolling ones.
Exactly. Only one type of
I never, guys, have you not watched my amazing chalice run? I don't roll ones anymore. Not even true. Like I actually rolled a bunch of ones in the last game.
No, you just make the other people roll even more.
Right? I've got really good at making other people roll ones. That's how I'm doing so well. No, it's the tabletop thing, right? So like, I know some people are really annoyed just in principle that like Games Workshop release new rules and then they've had to do lots of errata. That doesn't bother me that much in principle, right? Because like I can't imagine how hard it is to write a full rule set. I'm sure it's very difficult, like whatever. Like,
I had people that write the rules that played the game.
Yeah. But what bugs me way more, and like this genuinely bugs me like every time I play Blood Bowl on the tabletop, is that because they keep doing these errata and updating things, when I sit down to play, I don't even know like how to like have the up-to-date rules in front of me. Like I don't know how, like other than like going through the errata one by one and memorizing them, which like it's just like seems to be one PDF file that just gets updated, so I don't even know what's new half the time. Like that bugs the hell out of me, because like I might want to take a star player and I don't even know like, am I using the right price for the star player? Look at my rule book. Like just why can't they make like a single, I would pay a subscription for it, I don't care, like a digital resource that's like the rule book where I can actually just like flick to the right page of the book and check someone's price and rules, because that stuff like, oh, I've got my rule book but I've got to go find the online PDF and I've got to find the right part of the PDF. It's rubbish. I'm sorry.
So you can download that PDF.
You've still got to like go through the PDF looking for the bit that's relevant to what you're doing. And if something's changed that I don't know about, how do I know? How do I know they've changed the rule unless someone tells me in person?
Quite often they don't implement the new rules until a couple of months down the line. We were talking about this. Andy, Chris Frozen, Daly and I went to a pairs tournament the other weekend, and we were talking about this because Chris was talking about how in Warhammer, if there's new rules that come out, they will play that in the next like tournament that week. If it comes out that new rules are out that week, they'll be in that tournament, whereas with Blood Bowl it won't be for like a couple of months. So they are they are kind of good at like spacing it out, but you are right, like there's so many things that it's one way or the other way, and it's changing the rules. And I was asked to ref at a tournament this weekend, so I was having to like check my rules and check that I knew what I was talking about when I was asked questions. I got some very interesting questions, because there was this the most interesting. So somebody, what was that team? I think it was a Black Hawk team, and they had the way that this tournament ran, they had this you had a couple of skills that you could put on your players, and then you could choose one of your players to put this pack of skills on. And with it came a negatrait of Unchanneled Fury. And this person decided to put this pack of skills on their troll. So this troll was really stupid and had Unchanneled Fury.
Oh my god.
So they were so the question I got asked was, do they roll twice? Do they roll once for really stupid, then once for Unchanneled Fury? And ultimately we came to the decision that yes, they do, because they're two different negatraits. Yeah. But I didn't want. I double checked with some other people, with some other refs, just to make sure that they weren't telling other people anything different, because want to be unified and all that. But yeah, they had two different negatraits on this troll. Bless him. So it was like definitely an interesting decision, and it did work a little bit from what I understand, but I think it did die a couple of times within the games.
Do you know why that is? He didn't tell his troll that he was a good boy. Good troll.
Always talk to your players.
Always.
Yes. Giraffe, do you have any pet peeves?
So I have some board game pet peeves, and maybe we can talk about those in a little bit. I have tons of blood. Oh my god, I have so many pet peeves. Now that I think about it, I'm just like, I hate everything about games. Something I was thinking about cutscenes is, the other thing I really don't like is when there's dialogue in games and it means absolutely nothing. Like when you can choose to go to the left or choose to go to the right, and then you have the same boss encounter. And I'm just like, why are you giving me the illusion of choice? I hate you. And yeah.
Is that to get the ending of Mass Effect?
That too. Well, Mass Effect is interesting, right? Because, every time, this wouldn't be a Hey Listen podcast if I didn't actually talk about Mass Effect. So Mass Effect is absolutely phenomenal at making your choices matter all the way until the actual ending. Yes. The ending is just like, all that stuff you did prior, that was really beautiful story where everything you did mattered in a very nuanced and complicated ways. Yeah, all that is bullshit. Which color do you like more? Red, green, or blue, or whatever it is? Pick one, and that's it.
Oh, wow.
Why did I just spend hundreds of hours of my life on this?
For the alien sex.
Oh, well, yeah. But there is no alien sex at the end. Sorry, spoiler alert to anybody who's actually played Mass Effect. Yeah, the ending is not a porno or an alien sex. Very disappointing, really. What about board games? Do you guys have pet peeves board games? Because I play a lot more board games, so I think a lot about those, and I think mine are a little more controversial.
I don't really play many board games. I don't play enough to have a pet peeve about a board game. Definitely not.
I'm super curious to know what giraffes are. I think I play, in my head, I think I play more board games than video games, but then, like with so many other parts of life, like COVID happened, and actually, because Giraffe and I have been playing some board games the last few days. We had a couple of different board game sessions, and I've loved it, and I'm suddenly realising, how little I've done this in the last few years. I used to have regular groups of friends, I still have those friends, but we used to get together regularly and just play board games, and yeah, we played Mysterium, which I know you've talked about on this podcast before, Dizzy. I really enjoyed it. Really fun.
It's such a good game.
But what are your pet peeves, Giraffe? I want to know, what are the things that bother you?
Let's see. So my controversial ones is that I am, in real life, I'd like to think I'm relatively laid back in terms of competitiveness, but when it comes to games, right, it's war. I'm gonna kill the person I'm playing against, even if it's a co-op game. Fuck it, right?
Violence. Oh, absolutely. If you can sticky your co-op friend, you sticky your co-op friend.
Yeah, exactly. So, what I really don't like is when people sign up for a competitive board game and don't take it seriously. And I know this is there's two camps of people in the world, right? There's people who are just like, it's a game, it's a social activity. Joy, no, I came here to kill you, right? So when somebody isn't, and then they do something instead of trying to do something, because some people just make choices that I would think are suboptimal or something, and that's fine, right? Everybody's doing their best. But when they're knowingly making choices, they're like, oh, I'm doing this for the chaos. I don't even care about this game. I don't know why I'm here. I'm here for the drinks. That's when I want to take them out back and just beat them up. No, you're here to test your mettle against me.
I will specifically do things for the chaos, and I will sit back and I will watch the chaos ensue.
Oh, I hate you.
Wow. You just do something stupid, if you play a social deduction game, just say something really daft, I really think that person over there is suspicious, except there's no reason to be suspicious, but you'll just come up with this stupid random reason.
And this is why I don't like social deduction games.
That's obvious.
I was going to say, I hate, because Dana and I, when we ever go and play board games, we get sort of groaned at. It's like, oh, you two are going to throw for each other. It's like, no, we are the most mortal enemies when we play board games together, because we want to screw the other one over. But there's that stereotype of couples, one of them will throw the game so the other one will win, and I've seen it happen. In Catan, this guy just handed his girlfriend all of his cards for no reason, no trade, nothing, just handed her all of his cards so that she would win. And it was like, that's bullshit.
I mean, when we played Among Us a few days ago, and if anybody wants to watch it, that might be up on YouTube.
I will be putting up. Yes, I'll be trying to put it up as soon as possible.
Then you will see. Did it make a massive point to beeline for Dizzy whenever he's being hosted?
Yeah, although there has been one exception to that rule, and it was to screw somebody else over who was being sexist towards me. So that's the acceptable. Yeah, basically, we were playing Century, which is a great game. If you've never played it, I definitely recommend it. And this guy was being all pompous, and I was actually a committee member of the society at that point, so not like just some timid person who'd just come along. I was throwing myself in there, and he turned and went, all right, I know what you're doing, pointing at everybody except me, like just completely ignoring me and brushing me off. So Dado was like, well, I know I can screw you over. It would throw the game for him, but it meant that it screwed him over, and then I ended up winning anyway out of 5 people. So it was a great moment. But yeah, like otherwise throwing the game or like having that, you're going to pass off for each other. No way are we going to do that. We're in it for blood. We're in it to win it.
It is awful when people do that. Like, I remember, God, when I was sort of a teenager, but my brother, who's a couple of years older than me, had just got together with this girl and was very doe-eyed for her, and like we played Monopoly, and he like just started giving her stuff, and I was furious because I was a teenager, and I was like, I don't want to spend time like being sort of part of your nonsense. It's ridiculous, but like I also didn't like her, which is fine because she turned out to be a wrong one, and we didn't neither of us like her now, but that's a long time ago. But it's funny how I still remember it, like, and that's literally forever ago.
It was something actually we established very early on in our relationship, that phase of being doe-eyed and everything. We were like, so you're not going to go easy on me if we played board games, are you? No, definitely not. It's not happening. But yeah, it can get very, very frustrating when you play when you have somebody who expects to be handed everything.
I actually think that is a very teenage problem when I think about it. I think as adults, most people go the way that you and Day have. You're like,
you'd hope so. You'd hope so. Sadly, I do know.
I mean, me and Techno will be exactly the same. We wouldn't throw the game for each other unless for a very, very good reason. If it was both of us were going to lose, but one of us could win, then we might give each other the knowing look.
Oh, true love, right there. I would never, not for anybody, not for my mother.
I would expect him to throw it for me, but certain times a team up is acceptable.
Yeah.
If it means you're going to lose.
I can't remember what the name of the game was. The second game we played with Sharata and J-Leave.
Tragedy Looper.
What was it, sorry?
Tragedy Looper.
Tragedy Looper, because that was like a really, really intense, fun game. Recommend to anyone wants to try it, but like it's
very cute deduction game, yeah.
Yeah, clever deduction game, but like it was difficult. Like I felt like I was sort of I was struggling to keep up with the logic that other people at the table were using to deduct things. But it was in my head because everyone was talking about co-op games and like working against each other, and I definitely felt like there was sort of, because it was a 3 against 1 situation, and it was like a giraffe
wanted to kill you all.
To be the one against us all, and I definitely felt like there was sort of, even though everyone working the same way, like on our side with the 3, like people wanted to be the one who worked it out and like being competitive about it, which is more fun. Like I definitely felt a bit out of my depth in that game. Like I thought I was struggling to work things out, but it's more fun than one person sort of, because if you're sort of too cooperative in co-op games, like it just becomes like one person playing the game, and that's boring, right? Like it's almost more fun if you're sort of trying to jostle and like outdo each other.
Yeah, I think that's a problem with most cooperative games, honestly, is when there's too much communication, then what you have is one person who's figured it out first and then just tells everybody what to do, and that's a kind of a sad way to spend however many hours of your time.
Or you have somebody who already knows the game very well, and so they're like, right, this is the strategy, this is what you do that, and make sure you play this card, you do this, and yeah, that just, it doesn't give you a chance to learn it, because it's just like, oh, okay, that's boring.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So we got a new board game. It was a while ago now, but I don't think we've recorded since we got it, and it's called Micro Macro. Anyone?
What? No, I don't recognise it.
Micro Macro?
It's called Micro
Furious
Macro.
Googling. Okay.
Furious Googling. And it's a completely co-op game. There's no teams, there's no nothing. You all work together. And it's these little cartoon bunnies. And you get this big, massive map that's like the size of a dining table, like a full 6-seater dining table. And you get these cards, and you have to find the murder of these little cartoon bunnies. And you have to figure out how they were killed, who killed them, what happened, or where did the murderer go after that, where did they come from, and all that that and it's really good. It is so much fun. There's not much replayability in it.
Are there
but
different roles?
No, you're all just detectives. You're all just detectives. So if you found it on Google.
So how do I did. So how do you stop somebody from taking over, like what Trina were talking about?
So when we played it with my boy, and so we were doing it together. But if you actually look at this map, so if you can see it, you see the front cover of the box. Imagine that, but just like huge, like the size of a massive table. So there's so much to see, and then you might say something like, "Oh, I found them," but then you're looking all for the next bit. It's like a giant colouring book, and it's all black and white, and it's just outlines of everything. It's really good, but it's really hard to take over because it's actually quite a hard game. And we all got really into it by the end. We did try and let the boy have like see the most things and do the most things because he's 9. Sometimes you gotta let the kids win. Only sometimes. Right.
Oh man, I hate that too. Cauliflower, we're gonna have words.
No, only sometimes. Only sometimes. But yeah, it's just
struggle to believe this. I struggle to believe that Collie lets that happen. I wonder if Collie sometimes just loses and says afterwards she let him win.
Oh, that might be it. It's just
he's not there yet.
That makes more sense.
He's not there yet. So he decided he wanted to play a game of Football 2 with us, and he made this custom team. It was like 2,000 TV, and it didn't make any sense whatsoever. I can't remember what it was now. So I made a custom team, and I made a chaos team, and I had like tents and Stanford.
Did you just
large
plot the shit out of your kids?
Well, the thing is, right, so he was sat in the dining room and I was sat on the sofa playing, and I was going reasonably easy on him because he was 8 at the time. And
2,000 chaos team.
And he knocked out one of my players, and he was giggling, and he ran into the dining room, and he said, "See, mummy, I can beat you. You're useless." And I was like, "Right,
that's the point. That is the point."
Oh, I flattened him. Absolutely flattened him. Like, don't get cheeky.
So there's competitive and there's clop on the shit out of your kids.
I absolutely clop on the shit out of him.
Oh my god.
It was a life lesson. It was a life lesson.
Just
not only did I clop on the shit out of him, I scored like 6 touchdowns.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, Collie.
Oh, has he showed any more interest in playing Blood Bowl?
Oh yeah, he still wants to play. Yeah, he definitely still wants to play, but he doesn't try and make a 2,000 TV team and think he's gonna walk all over everybody.
A valuable life lesson.
Valuable life lesson. Valuable.
That's cool. Do you think he'll want to play with his friends? Do you think he'll have friends who want to play?
Maybe. He wants to come and watch us play some tabletop games, but I think a tournament's probably a bit much for him.
He might get a bit bored. Although
3 games.
The most sort of fun place to watch because everyone's on a clock and so everyone's sort of a bit intense. Whereas if it's like just playing a tabletop game in a league or something, it's more relaxed. Yeah.
Though saying that, I've seen at NAFC there were several people who had their kids along, from varying ages, from about, I think, probably about 3 to 9, and then
he has the attention span of a goldfish. So I'd rather take him to just a league game or a friendly game that I'm playing with someone else to sit and watch and gauge his reaction before I start taking him to actual tabletop tournaments.
Yeah, fair enough.
Is everyone still there? Did we just hit a lull?
Yeah, I think we just hit a lull. It's fine.
Started thinking wistfully about the times that we beat the crap out of somebody, somebody defenseless like Collie.
You shouldn't have got cocky.
No, I'm in full support of this. Well done. Kill.
Got cocky.
There was a skit show, like a comedy show that we used to be on British TV called The Fast Show, and I'm sure it's probably aged horribly like all comedy, but there was one skit that was like an over-competitive father, so it was like a recurring character who just come on, and there was one where him with his 2 sons and they're playing cricket, and one of them will bowl and he'll just smack it 100 yards away and then start running and make them go and get it. And this is how I would have pictured Collie's approach to playing against her son, which is now confirmed by the 6-0.
I tend to learn and I want him to have fun with it, but don't get cocky. Don't get too cocky, kid.
Don't get cocky. What were you like with your parents playing games as a kid?
Me?
Yeah.
My dad didn't play.
You would have got. I would bet you would have got bullshit too.
I didn't. I didn't get that bullshit. I remember the one game that I played with my dad was World Cup '98 on the PlayStation 1, and I was still very young. And we started playing, and I got the ball, and I was like, I wonder which way I'm scoring. Turned around with the ball and stuck it in the back of my own net. And he knew. He was watching, and he knew I was going the wrong way, but he didn't tell me.
Did he betrayal?
It was utter betrayal. Well, I looked at him and went, "Oh, did you know which way I was scoring?" He was like, "I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention." I was like, "Yeah, of course you weren't."
I don't know. Liar.
He was
Liar.
taping it. He was secretly videotaping it. Didn't
Well,
even
to be
know.
fair, this is in 1998 draft, so camcorders weren't exactly little.
Well, he was sneaky. Could have been.
He is not sneaky.
Oh, well.
He's
I'm
not
just saying, if
sneaky
you were my
enough.
kid, I'd be videotaping it and keeping it for blackmail later. You never know when you need to blackmail your kids.
I never really played co-op games with my mother. She would play games, and then she'd get to the bar and be unable to do it, and then come crying to me, and then I'd go do all the bosses.
Oh, that reminds me of so when we were younger, we used to play a lot of Mario Kart Double Dash, which if you don't know, it's Mario Kart, but you've got two characters, one on driving, one throwing the items. And my dad used to take it on holiday with us sometimes, and I just remember one holiday, it was him and my youngest sister, who I think she was about 3 or 4 at the time, so definitely not going to be winning, bless her. But my mum, I and my other sister had gone out somewhere, came back, and she came running out, I won, I actually beat him. And she was like, I didn't. And we were like, yeah, he let you win. And she said, no, I actually beat him. She believed this for years, until I think it was about 2 or 3 years ago. She's like nearly 20 now. She's like, hang on a second. It was one of her proudest moments from when she was little. And she was like, hang on a second, you actually let me win there, didn't you?
Oh, don't you hate it when you're an adult and then there's something that you fully believed when you were little and you get that horrid realisation? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
The Easter Bunny isn't real, but Santa is. It's fine.
Oh, hang on.
See,
It's the
Jesus.
Easter Bunny.
What are you trying to do here, Collie? We have an audience. You're just a monster.
Family
you're
show.
Crush so many people.
Yeah, family show with all our swearing.
With the aliens text, it's fine.
It's fine. Everything is fine. Everything is fine.
There's no clearer evidence of alien sex than the existence of the Easter Bunny. I'm just being honest. That's not a normal creature.
New way of looking at it, yeah, I suppose.
So, ladies, do you remember thinking back to our Halloween episode when we started talking about our horror games?
yes.
So the one I talked about was my horror board game that I used to play when I was called Atmosphere.
Yeah.
And then my sister texted me like 3 weeks after that with a picture in a charity shop of the board game Atmosphere. And I said, she absolutely has to buy it for me. And I'm sat here with it on my knee.
No.
And she bought it for me, and I have it. It's got the videotape in it, the VHS tape. In case you don't remember what those are, Dizzy, because you're so young, you have a Google. And we absolutely have to play it.
Yes, definitely.
Very skeptical about this. I like how quickly you guys were like, yes, we're playing this. And maybe. I don't want to
Yeah,
lie.
no, we're playing with it. You'll love the gatekeeper.
I'll think about
He's
it.
so sweet.
Maybe.
He's so kind. He's so kind.
I don't know how you'd actually play it with the VHS because
He's on YouTube.
Yeah, who's
Don't
got
worry,
one
it's
of
on
those?
YouTube.
Oh, okay. All right. Deal.
It's on YouTube.
I'll play Atmosphere. I remember having fun with Atmosphere when I was
I'll-
very small.
With a mug of tea and somebody holding my hand, maybe.
I'll hold your hand. Don't worry.
Thanks,
Don't worry.
Colleen.
I won't troll you at all.
Absolutely
Oh,
reliable.
oh my
trainer.
goodness! So right, I'm going through it and I'm getting memories right. So one of the cards in it is time card, right? And so if anybody remembers listening about it, you've got a clock on the screen with the gatekeeper and the clock up to 60 minutes. And on these time cards, there's a very specific time, and it's got an instruction to do. So this one that I've just picked up, right? At 39 minutes and 13 seconds, scream stop. Any opponent you scare must give you all of your time cards.
Oh my god. This is going to turn into like the Day drinking horror stream again, isn't it?
Well, Dana's going to play with us, right?
Oh yeah. He will be
it's-
he'll be terrified.
Anybody needs to play horror games more. It's Day.
Oh,
He's like
so
the biggest draw. Yeah.
So I've been setting up, you know how I have my sound alerts on my stream? I have been setting up a very special Day horror stream sound alerts list. So rather than it just a couple of jump scares being scattered amongst my normal sound alerts, I have made a list of just jump scare sound alerts. And I think we are going to be doing another stream again very soon. We're going to make it a very regular thing. So by the time this goes out, it will. If it hasn't happened, there'll be another one coming soon. But he actually really enjoys them. To say he doesn't like being scared, doesn't like horror games, he actually really enjoys them. So yeah, we're definitely going to do it a bit more often.
We're also going to do a more regular Among Us stream.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think because obviously the first one we all managed to get on that, but I think to make it regular, I think we'll just say whoever can join will come along if you're able to, kind of thing. We won't try and force us, because as we are aware, having trying to record this, life gets in the way quite quickly, so there's no pressure to join in I think we'll do it like every fortnight. I think what we'll do is every other week we'll do a Day horror stream, and between those we'll do the Among Us streams, so it switches up each each week.
As long as we're not playing Fortnite.
No.
No.
I've never played Fortnite. I have no intention of playing Fortnite.
No, it's awful. We don't play Fortnite.
Any game that requires hand-eye coordination in general is not my type of game.
Well, so yeah, I'm going to be making sure that we have regular horror streams and Among Us streams every other week. They'll be on my channel. Have you guys got anything coming up that you want to give a little shout out to? Any events or anything?
This team that I'm on this run with, like, was such an afterthought, and I really thought like this would be like a one game chalice season, and now it's the furthest I've ever gone, and it's like, hang on, like I didn't even think after the quarterfinal, which I won't spoil in case, well, probably by the time people listening to this, anyone who wants to watch it would have watched it, but it was dramatic. But like it was only like about an hour afterwards I was like, semi-final means that like literally I've only got to win 2 more games and you can win the whole thing. Now I think those 2 games will be very, very hard, so it's probably not going to happen, but it's kind of cool.
All right. Okay. You say that for every single chalice game you play, right?
True statement.
So every time that not the hard part, they are hard, we will accept that, but Tree comes into our Discord channel and she goes, it's a really good team and it's a really good coach, I'm probably not gonna win anyway, and there's like, let's do it, and this is literally every single chalice match she played.
It's a true statement.
Every single one.
I've noted
I've
it.
undermined my own credibility, haven't I, by being too downbeat?
Yeah.
Wow.
I totally get it, but also, yeah.
At time of recording, I don't know how I'm playing yet because I haven't played their game yet, but every coach
Who
and
might
every
it
team
be? Who might it be?
is either going to be Chou Blanc, who actually won Chalice 2 or 3 seasons ago, so he's won it all recently, and he's got a very scary looking necromantic team, or it Level Up, who's playing Pro L, and their team doesn't look quite as scary, but it has still got a strength 4 frenzy catcher, and it's got a near 1 turner, so it's still a pretty good team, and obviously again very good coach.
Who would you rather play?
Between the two, I'd prefer to play Level Up, just because Chou Blanc's necromantic team has got all of the horrible kill skills, and I think there'd be a good chance that my team might just die right away, so I'd rather
Only you
have an elf game,
had.
see what
If
happens.
only you had.
If only.
But I was so
feels
good.
right now like it feels right now like Dizzy Witch died so that the rest of the team could live, because since she died the team has been
Thanks,
unstoppable.
Dizzy.
I
You're
sacrifice
will be
really
remembered
on your
forever.
team.
My sacrifice will be remembered.
We'll build a statue and everything.
Giraffe Tree, was there anything, it doesn't have to be an event, anything you wanted to highlight that's coming up?
No. Well, I'm really excited about Tree's game. Other than that, no, not really. Well, I don't know if this is worth a highlight. Sometime in August, I am planning to do an anniversary stream, and I'm looking for ideas for something cool to do. Okay, but the problem is I don't know. Like, I want something special, but I don't know what yet. So,
We'll come up with some ideas.
if anybody wants to say anything, yeah.
Yeah. If anyone's got any ideas, please put them in the Discord or the Facebook page or anywhere we're around. Please let us know if you've got any ideas for what Tree can do to celebrate. Tree,
May
giraffe.
I request the inflatable giraffe costume?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, that's just happening. The inflatable giraffe is going to make an appearance. It's just, I don't know. Like, other ideas for something special would be great.
I have been a bit cheated in coming all the way to New York and not seeing the giraffe outfit.
It's okay. It's for stream only.
She has got other giraffe sort of paraphernalia in the flat. I'm drinking from a giraffe mug, and there's a
That's
giraffe
cauliflowers.
costume.
Yeah.
I was just about to say, a giraffe mug? Where did you get that?
The giraffe
Wherever
mug,
did that come from? Yeah.
It's a very nice mug, and it's a really good size too. Lots of tea in it.
I did purposefully try to find a huge one, because when Giraffe came to my place and we drove up from south of England, and I was like, would you like a cup of tea? Oh my god, yes, I want a cup of tea. How big do you want a cup of tea? Like, a big one. So I held up this big mug, like this big, or this big, with this gigantic mug that had 2 handles on it.
Two handles was amazing.
It's like the massive one.
Who wouldn't?
That was amazing. I loved it.
Who wouldn't pick the massive one? Collie, was there anything you wanted to highlight, event or otherwise?
I have
Nothing?
I've absolutely nothing at all.
Fair enough. So before we end, the last thing I do want to say is please check out all of our social medias. We have a Patreon, so if you would like to support us, we would very much appreciate it. I will put a link to the Patreon and all our social medias in the link below. But that is it for us for our episode 6. We will see you again. The Among Us streams will be going up on the Patreon. So if you are already a member, you'll be able to see them there. The videos, if you didn't manage to catch the live stream of them on my channel. But it's for now. It's goodbye from me,
Dizzy Bess.
Bye from Dizzy.
Yeah. And me, Giraffe. Seriously, I'm a giraffe, right?
Me, Miss Beltree.
And I suppose me too, Cauliflower.